Hello everyone, today we're going to have a look at solving quadratic equations by factorizing. You've already learned how to solve quadratic equations by using the product sum method and by using the common factor. Today you're going to learn how to use both mixed. So we're only going to have a look at examples because you've already learned in the previous video how to solve quadratic equations. So we're going to solve 4 examples. And I want you all to write them down in your notebooks because it's a note. So first of all, x squared plus 7x plus 12 equals 0. And you need to solve this. The first question that you need to ask yourself is, do I need to solve this by using the product sum method or by using the common factor? So you're using the product sum method if there are 3 terms, so 3 different things. And if there is no common factor, and in this case there is no common factor because there's an x over there, but not an x over here. So there's no common factor and there are 1, 2, 3 terms. So we need to use a product sum method. So first of all, we need to know what the sum is. And the sum is in this case plus 7 because it's the number before the letter. The product is plus 12 because that's the only number that is there. So we need to find 2 numbers that when we're going to add them, it will be 7. And when we're going to multiply them, the answer is 12. So I know I need to find the numbers 4 and 3 because 4 plus 3 equals 7 and 4 times 3 equals 12. So now I know that I've got the correct answers. Again, do not forget to copy the equals 0. So x plus 4 times x plus 3 equals 0. We know that if we're going to multiply something by 0, then the answer is 0 as well. So either x plus 4 needs to be 0 or x plus 3 needs to be 0. And don't forget that this V symbol is in mathematics OR. So that is OR. So we need to solve this. So think of the balance methods. So minus 4 on that side and minus 3 on that side. Then you need to do it on the other side of the equal sign as well. So you will get x equals minus 4 or x equals minus 3. That is your answer. And it is correct because if I'm going to fill in x equals minus 4 into our equation, I will get minus 4 plus 4 times minus 4 plus 3 equals 0. Minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. So if you're going to multiply anything by 0, it will be 0. So those are the correct answers. Alright, then the next one. 5x squared minus 15x equals 0. So first, again, have a look if we're going to use a common factor or the product sum methods. So if I'm looking at this equation, I see that there is a x squared and a normal x. That means that they have an x in common. I also see a 5 and 15. I know that one of the multiplications of 15 is 5 times 3. So then they would have a 5 in common. So first write it down differently. 5x squared could be written as 5 times 1 times x times x. Minus 15x could be written as 5 times 3 times x. I already colored the 5 and the x red because those are the common factor. They are the same. So you need to put the common factor outside the brackets and everything else that remains inside the brackets. So you will get 5x times x minus 3 equals 0. And again, or 5x needs to be 0, or x minus 3 needs to be 0. Alright, so if we've got this, we know that if we're going to use the balance method, that if we're going to divide it by 5 and we add 3, then we will get x equals 0 or x equals 3. So that's your answer. And again, you can check it by filling the x's in and check if your answer is 0. Alright, our third example is 3x squared minus x equals 0. So again, first question, are you going to use the product sum method or are you going to factorize it while using the common factor? Alright, so I can only see two terms because I only can see the 3x squared and the minus x. And I also see a common factor because I see in both terms I see a x. So that's why we're going to use the common factor. I know that 3x squared is the same as 3 times x. And I know that x is the same as 1 times x. Again, I made the common factor red, so the 1 is still black. So I've got 3x times x and 1 times x. You see that the x's are the common factor. So 1x is a common factor. So I put that one outside the brackets. That's the x over there. So I've got a 3 times x left. That is the same as 3x. And I've got a 1 left. So I put down minus 1. And that again is 0. So I know that or x needs to be 0 or 3x minus 1 needs to be 0. So x equals 0 or 3x minus 1 is 0. So I know that x equals 0, it just stays the same, or 3x equals 1 because I use the balance methods to get rid of the 1 on the left side. Because remember, all numbers to the right. So then I know x equals 0 or x equals 1/3 because I divided everything by 3. And this is again your final answer. And as you can see, it's really important that you can see that each time you're using the same kind of steps. Alright, then our last one, solve a squared minus a minus 12 equals 0. So again, the first question, are you going to use the product sum method or the common factor? I see that there are 3 terms because I see a squared, that's one term, I see minus a, that's the second term, and I see minus 12, that's the third term. Because we cannot add them, it's simplified, so there are only 3 terms. There is no common factor because there is a squared and a. So a could be the common factor, but 12 doesn't have an a. So we need to use the product sum method. So we need to determine what the product is and what the sum. So we know that the sum is going to be minus 1 because remember that you may always put a 1 in front of a letter. The product is the number on its own, so without any letters, so it's minus 12. So now I need to find a number. When we're going to add it, the answer is minus 1. And when we're going to multiply it, the answer is minus 12. So I know that I need to use minus 4 and 3 because minus 4 times 3 equals minus 12. And minus 4 plus 3 equals minus 1. If you're not really sure which numbers you need to use, you can always use a table with the product, the answer over here, so minus 12, and the sum minus 1 over there. So you could use 6 times minus 2, and then the sum would be 4. So that is not correct. And you could go there and using each numbers, and you will find that minus 4 and 3 are the correct numbers. So again, I know that or x minus 4 needs to be 0, or x plus 3 needs to be 0. I want to know what x is, so I'm going to use a balance method. So plus 4, minus 3, minus 3. So x equals 4 or x equals minus 3. And again, if you're going to fill this into this equation, you will see that the answer is indeed 0. Alright, so good luck with using the steps, and remember that each time you're using the same steps. So make notes for yourself and look at the steps and just memorize the steps so that each time you know what to do, because each time with each exercise you're going to use the same steps. And for more information, have a look at the websites. Good luck.